the Niners get Randy Gregory, but they don't move any money. They don't really move any picks, right? Because they may literally be moving back like 1 or 2 spots in the draft from the late 6th to the beginning of the 7th with that pick. So they moved very little to get Gregory. It was almost like a free trade. If you're John Lynch, what's your prediction on John Lynch? Are they going to roll over? He says he wants to roll it over for Ayuk and all these other contracts, but you're in your Super Bowl window. I was looking at a list today of guys who could be traded before the end of the month, the trade deadline. Surtain was on the list. Brian Burns, Frank Clark, Marcus Davenport, Justin Houston, Yannick Ngakoue. And then there's a couple DBs, Adoree Jackson, Surtain. And then there was one that I thought was kind of interesting as well, Zach Ertz. Could you see John Lynch trading for Zach Ertz or a corner or another D-end before the deadline? Because they've got they got $40 million plus, and they got a full complement of picks, and they're inside their Super Bowl window. Should they make another addition, or should they just go with what they got?
What are the trade deadline moves they've made? McCaffrey, Sanders. Anyone else?
McCaffrey. Well, they picked up a Menahue and Willis prior to the deadline.
But those two big ones, like McCaffrey, it's because they were falling apart at running back. Jeff Wilson Jr. was hurt and fumbling. Elijah Mitchell was out. Like, they needed a guy. And then when they got Emmanuel Sanders, their starters were Dante Pettis and Marquise Goodwin. And Debo. They definitely needed a guy. Like, now it's hard to say that they have a clear weakness on a team. Like Surtain, yeah, but
what is their weakness?
Would you move Lenore inside? Like, he's really good outside. I don't think
that's Thomas their weakness.
Yeah, but he doesn't even play. Is Isaiah Oliver their weakness? I mean, he hasn't lost them any games yet. He's made some plays. Yeah, and I don't think you're getting a starting right tackle at the trade deadline. Now they do have the cap space for him, so who knows? That could be something. If a team starts tanking and they have an offensive lineman that they don't want or they can't afford, and someone magically becomes available, the Niners could do that. But they may want to say, like, you know what? We're cruising. We're leading the league in point differential. Let's not mess with this right now. We added Randy Gregory. That's a nice little addition because Drake Jackson wasn't really doing much. Other than that, if they can get a right tackle, sure. But I don't know about that.
I don't think that's possible. But let me ask you this: Jordan Willis, from what I can tell, and I don't know if there's something going on there I don't know about, but he appears to be not on any team nor on any practice squad. In your opinion, is Jordan Willis better or worse than Clelin Ferrell?
Better.
I think he's
good
better
question.
too.
I like Jordan Willis. Always liked Jordan Willis. I felt the Niners didn't really play him very much, and when they did, he made plays, even on special teams. Like, they went to an NFC Championship 2 years ago, like very much because of Jordan Willis, right? He was like the hand of God.
The play in Green Bay?
Yeah. He was the one that blocked the punt or whatever it was. Yeah. And then Talanoa got it. Like, those two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Willis is faster than Clelin Ferrell. And speed
bigger,
matters.
faster, more powerful, better at football.
I wonder if Clelin Ferrell, because Clelin Ferrell looks like the kind of guy that he can't get to the quarterback unless he fakes like he's going around the corner and then knifes back inside. If you give up the inside lane to Clelin, he can get to the quarterback. But if you just force him to run the loop, he can't get there.
He looks like a guy who can't get to the quarterback. Full stop.
Right now,
he's been in the league a minute and a half. I don't think he can get there. I mean, they brought him on the team to like set the edge and stop the run. Cool. I mean, he's doing his job. The defense is great, so I don't think they're mad at him. They know what he is. And now they got Randy Gregory too. Do you think Randy Gregory will play all 3 downs, or he'll be a 3rd down guy, and Drake Jackson will have to take a step back?
I think he's going to play in a rotation. That's like a safe way out, right? Because Chris plays all of his guys in a rotation.
That's all right.
But he plays them kind of, I don't know. It's weird. Does he? I notice more series to series than like 2nd down, 3rd down. Though there are some downs.
Yes, I agree.
Which is
wild to me because like there'll be series will have all the starters out, and it's like, hey man, I mean, you're going to give up a touchdown on this drive, but it's like, okay, if that's the only touchdown you give up all game,
it's fine. Weird. And then all of a sudden, let's say they get on 1st down or 2, here comes Bosa. Then you see Bosa on 3rd down. I would like to see Willis if he's out there and available. Bazamian says every single championship game Kyle lost in his career, Super Bowl, NFC championship games, the opponent always has a superior quarterback. Maybe the year that changes because of Brock.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is Brock?
I don't know how good
Hurts?
Brock is, because he's on this great team. It's hard to tell. It'd be easier to tell if he was on a mediocre team, but I think it's obvious that he's way, 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 way better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's significant for this team, considering how far they made it with Jimmy.
He's way better than Jimmy.
Way better than Jimmy.
I mean, all you got to look at is Brock against Steelers in Pittsburgh compared to Jimmy against Steelers in Vegas. Night and day.
Brock has a better feel and handle for the system after 13 games than Jimmy Garoppolo did in 6 years, man. That's true. I mean, just start right there. Brock Purdy just puts in more work mentally than Jimmy Garoppolo ever did. They used to always say, like, hey, Jimmy's good. Wait till he gets the system down. Wait till he's in year 2 like Matt Ryan. Remember how when Matt Ryan finally got it, how freaking good MVP. He was? That's Purdy. That's Purdy. He has that kind of a handle on the system. Jimmy, I don't know if he ever cared to. I don't know.
I'll say this, too. I'm in that locker room all the time. I know you are as well. Late last year, when I would interview Kittle or Juszczyk, they loved Jimmy. They would never cross Jimmy, but you could tell they thought Brock was better. They didn't want to say it. They didn't want to say it, but they thought.
Dude, Jimmy knows Brock is better. How about that?
It means more to Brock than it meant to Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy didn't seem like he wasn't as into it.
He kind of strikes it as a guy who could take it or leave it. Like, man, I made $150 million doing this.
I'm really rich. I'm good looking. I'm
32. Like, it's cool. It's glamorous. It's fun. But, like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. Like, Brock is like, I was placed on earth from the powers that be to do this. And let me tell you something. God is a big Brock Purdy fan. I know I'm just trying to make him, proud of me right now. Like, he is so self-assured. Like, this is his calling. His calling. I mean,
it seems
you want to bet on someone who's that determined.
All I got to say is if I was Kyle Shanahan, based on this situation, I'd head to Vegas because you're living right, man. You got this guy in the last pick in the draft. You're living right.
Nah, I wouldn't do that because Kyle. The problem with Kyle.
You still fear
He's
Kyle.
Had some big flops and big games. Like he's great, man. But when the big test comes, he's only failed. So Brock hasn't done that. McCaffrey hasn't done that. Like Kyle has that baggage, those skeletons in his closet. So no, he has the best team in the league this year. You're the best coach, supposedly. You got to get this one done, Kyle. Like you can't find a way to not win the Super Bowl this year. You got to get it done. You're the best. They're the best. You got it all. You got it all.
The burden of expectations. Yeah,
you gotta. Otherwise, if you lose, you find a way to lose deep in the season. Man, that's you. At a certain point, you have a character flaw, and you're not going to change it. You're too old. You're too stuck. It's just you. So I think we're looking at Kyle Shanahan as a guy who's sort of a new Kyle.
Well, it's interesting. Kyle. That's an interesting point you're making because it's like basically what you're saying is Purdy's so good that he's isolating Kyle. So if they don't get it done,
the best out of Kyle. Well, isolated. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yep.
I see what you mean. Yes, it's on you, dude. And you can't point the finger at your quarterback anymore. Like, oh, why don't you ask Jimmy Garoppolo about that? Like, nah, you can't do that with Brock. He's the real deal. You said it. He's playing like it. It's on you. It's on you.
Now, him saying he's the real deal looks prophetic. Mike Monahan says, I like the new Grant. Less sour. I kind of like the old Grant, actually. Mike Monahan says, 49ers saying Brock was 4th round grade. Okay. Well, they said they were going to pick him in the 4th, and they just didn't, and then they wound up taking him in the 7th.
They just took Tariq Castro Fields over. I love when teams rewrite history because there's no official account of it. Like, yeah, say whatever you want to say. Sure.
We liked him in the 4th, but we needed a corner.
But we needed Tariq Castro Fields.
Gregory is speed off the edge. It equals sacks. I like it. I like the Gregory pickup. Yeah, seriously. As long as he's what was his issue? He smoked some grass. That's it, right?
I don't know. Is that even an issue anymore in the NFL? I don't even know.
I mean, there's dispensaries like probably within 5 miles of the stadium. Pac O says a buck. There you go. Thank you, Pac. Keith Murphy says the unbeaten. Keith Murphy, the unbeaten. To me, Kyle looks more relaxed, like he's not cursing under play card, APL game, all play long, game long. Okay, I got you.
He's got the quarterback he wants.
He does. He absolutely does. Keith Murphy says Grant is Joakim Noah. who wants to go to Cleveland.
It's far. It's expensive flight. It's Cleveland. I'm sorry. I'm giving myself the week off. I'll make more money at home. Sorry.
Seriously. Plus, I mean, you can come on right after the game. I love it when they go on the road because I can come on right after the game. And I don't have to wait.
And I have to wait 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah, For Life 49ers says, did we forget last season? 49ers ready? Real talk.
Real talk. I like when people say real talk. It's like, oh, dang. He's not messing around.
He is not messing around.
Not messing around. Real talk.
Matt McKeown says, or Matt McKeon.
McKeown.
He says, McKeown. Make it fair. Allow defense to be able to group up and push back, but they made it illegal for defenses to do it for player safety. If I'm correct, yeah, it's like it's a rule that like kind of favors the O line over the D line.
Real talk.
Fafita, another 10. He says, quality control and Krug. I didn't waste $50 plus this one for y'all to not get my message to the Niners D. Watch the film and tell me I'm wrong. Lowest man always wins. Use this tip to win against the Eagles. Quarterback sneaks.
Real talk.
Pass it. You know what? I'm gonna tell Wilkes. Wilkes, quarterback sneak.
Real talk.
Ryan J says other great part of Surtain is he's still on his rookie contract for 2 more years. Make it happen, Niners. Probably means you get
real talk.
One pick.
Real talk.
That's real talk.
Talk.